So what do you call yourself? Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Hey.
Hey, what can I do for you this fine day?
This is your destiny. Hot, hot, hot.
Right now.
Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Kick it.
Come on in and enjoy yourself.
Right now.
We gon' party like no one else. Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Good morning, sunshine. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Holding on, yet holding on. Do you understand me? We are inching our way through this work week, and I am so grateful that you took time out of your schedule to join me today. I know you've been busy. You're getting a lot of information out, but I have questions that need answers. So I hope you have a little time for it.
Absolutely. I hope I have the answers.
I'm sure you do. You know, when I
And
saw
is
your
it
name come
LaTangela?
across,
Is that
it
the
is
name?
LaTangela.
Okay.
And it's
LaTangela.
Chism. I'm
Perfect.
saying that correctly, Chism.
Absolutely. Like Shirley.
Good.
Yep.
See, is that your auntie? You tell her I say hey.
I have an Auntie Shirley, but it's not
Oh,
the Shirley Chisholm.
look, we're all related somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Look, tell me a little bit about your position as Smithsonian Undersecretary for Education.
Oh, thanks for that question. So I have the great honor and pleasure to serve as the Undersecretary for Education at the Smithsonian. The Smithsonian is the world's largest museum research education complex. So we have over 21 museums, and we have libraries and science centers and also the National Zoo. So in my role, what I have the great honor to do is to think about how we bring our education resources not only in creative ways to the spaces that we have that people come to, but how do we think about bringing that across the nation? And we work at the intersection of art, history, science, and culture.
And there's a lot that'll come across your desk because everyone has a different angle, or you want to educate us in different things. How is it that you and your team collectively decide, the museum exhibits, how to plan that out? Because that's a lot.
Yeah, and so the way that we approach education is to actually use our collection, our objects. We have over 150 million objects in our collection, and we don't really set out to tell people how to think or what to think. What we want to do is give them the tools to be an investigator, be curious, to really to think about thinking. And so through our objects, so for example, one of the objects that we have on display for the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence is Thomas Jefferson's writing desk. And this is where he drafted the Declaration of Independence. And, before I saw it in my head, I would have thought that was this huge desk, oak, mahogany, that he was
Yeah.
sitting down to write the Declaration of Independence. It's actually a very small lap desk that he designed and built, where he drafted the Declaration of Independence. And through this object, what we have the opportunity to do is talk about the really valuable vision for the framing of the nation, but also the complexity that as Thomas Jefferson wrote these aspirational ideas, he also had, people that he enslaved. He was grappling what it meant to be a nation that was in pursuit of freedom, of life, liberty. And so through that one object, we get a chance to tell a very complex story.
Right. And while you're doing that, to have that visual and to even know that someone has kept it and thought of its importance and it's still relevant to educate others and to make them think. Because now it's really hard when you get in the space and you say, I just want to encourage you to be an independent thinker. I'm gonna give you this object, and then from there, you let your thoughts go, you do your own investigation, and we have more than 150 million items that can help you do that. While you're looking at all of these different museums and you're now celebrating and commemorating the 250th anniversary, was there this aha moment for you that showed that you're at the helm of something so spectacular, even in this moment, to say that, within this collection, I know that I am marking a piece of history as we grow forward?
Yes, there's been a couple of objects. Secretary Lonnie Bunch, who is the founding director of the African American History and Culture Museum, who's now the secretary of the Smithsonian, actually excuse me, sorry,
Are you good?
co-curated an exhibit for this anniversary. And he's placed about 30 different objects in conversation with one another around American aspirations. One object that has definitely had that what you just described for me is Martin Luther King's "I Have a Dream" speech. We actually have the copy of his speech that he typed out for the March on Washington. I have what we know as the "I Have a Dream" speech in the collection.
Yeah.
And what's amazing about it is that the part that most people know, where Dr. King talks about this vision, his dream, is actually not written in his speech notes. It stopped before that, and so the history of it goes that Mahalia Jackson, famous gospel singer, was there, and
My
he had
favorite.
stopped, and she said, "Tell them about your dream, Martin. Tell them about your dream." And so that whole part was impromptu. He had
Wow.
had parts of it from other speeches previously, but it was all impromptu. So,
The more you know. And I love spaces such as these, so we are able to do our source of edutainment. We can
yes,
educate you while entertaining you, and you are curating programming nationwide, so no one will be able to miss it. You say you have over 21 actual locations and this zoo. Now listen, I'm always down for a good field trip. And when you say zoo, I say, hold on, wait a minute now, do explain. If we want to start planning our summer travels and family vacations, saying that we want to make this a part of our adventures, how do we find out more information, locations, or even conversation starters in our homes?
thank you for asking that. So there's two ways. You could go to our website, which is just si.edu, Smithsonian Institution, so si.edu. Or we have done something very special for your listeners and for the nation. We've created a what's called My Smithsonian. So it's a way to curate your journey, like curate your path. So if you can't make it to DC, you can still come in and chart your own path. And that's my si.edu. So my si.edu. And that will
Wow.
take you to My Smithsonian, where you can kind of chart your own path.
I want you to think of this as an extension of your office. So whenever you have anything going on, you feel free to jump in the hot seat on the tan line and let's make this happen. Matter of fact, you take a quick field trip to Louisiana. Surely we have some history around here. I would love for you to add that
Absolutely.
to it. And thank you so much for everything that you're doing. We're commemorating the 250th anniversary. And while we're doing that, through all of the facts and all of the articles that you have on display for the nation, I just feel like this is going to be something different and worth it all.
Well, thanks, Tan, and thanks for that invitation. And yes, I need to make it down to Louisiana. Definitely some of the best food in the nation. So,
Absolutely.
uh, yes.
I know you have more work to do, so I'm gonna let you chase the sun or let the sun chase you. But either way, get after it. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
Thanks.